Well, you're not going to believe this. Well, actually, you probably will, considering the time we live in and stuff. But there was a woman who recently came back from Syria, right? She was sent back because she was sick, and she was the bride of one of the highest ranking members of ISIS in America, right? And she was with him for more than 10 years. She wanted to go to Syria. And like I said before, she was only sent back because she was sick. And the title is fairly misleading in these articles from the Atlantic and New York Times, etc. They're like, uh, former bride of ISIS, highest ranking American member, has described for the first time how she fled the extremist groups in Syria and has settled with her 4 kids in the suburb of Dallas. So it's like, that's misleading because she didn't flee, right? Even in the article, she explains how she's kind of fell out of love with him because he wasn't around, and she's like, oh, I don't really care that much. She's fickle, right? Like, no offense, like a lot of women, she's very fickle, right? But even though it surprises me that she's still kind of like allowed, how she's not facing any jail time. Like, she went to Syria. There's a quote in here, her talking about her kids. She's like, our dream was to have our own land, raise a family, and train them to be assassins or whatever, soldiers, and eventually go join the jihad, she said. I was very depressed that I'm in a society for so many years, though thought was evil. I don't know, it's a weird translation. She recalled, I had these children for one reason only, so that they could serve God as muhahideen. So she's had these kids for multiple years. She had those kids for a specific purpose, and we're going to just assume she's not an extremist anymore. And like, she was aiding and abetting fucking terrorists. Right? Why is she not facing jail time? And this is stupid. This is what we do to women all the time. We give them a slap on the wrist. We're like, oh, they're not as dangerous, but they are. Right? Lots of women have done suicide vest attacks and have done terrorist attacks as well. There is even a woman who had partaken one in America not too long ago, right? That duo last year or so. But it's insanity to me that they're just allowing these people to come back, and she doesn't feel much remorse at all. Like, from what it sounded like, she doesn't really feel regret for what she did. She's like, oh, it was appealing, and the only reason I joined is because you're all fucking racist, and you throw rocks at my windows and shit. It's like, man, lots of people suffer racism, right? But they don't go and join radical Islamic groups. The one thing that the article doesn't mention is Islam, and that is one of the main reasons why she joined there. It wasn't because of racism, it wasn't because of this and that, and movies and shit. It's because of her fucking religion. I just wish they would mention that, right? And who knows? People just believe her, and who knows? She didn't coach her kids to say a few things before the interviews too. Like, there's a few quotes here, like, ask how they feel about their father. One of Tanya's children told the Atlantic it would be unforgivable if their father had blood on his hands. Otherwise, he should move to Sweden and start over, which is hilarious, right? So even their kids know that if they do anything bad, if they kill anybody in Syria or whatever, they're terrorists, they can just go to Sweden. Sweden will take in terrorists. The UK will take in these people. They'll give them welfare benefits. They'll give them jobs, anonymity. They'll hide them. They'll protect them. So they're just laughing at you. Like, ISIS members, they're laughing at us. They're laughing at our stupidity, bringing these people in and just being like, oh, and then they're sleeper cells, essentially. Once ISIS calls them to action, then they do it. A lot of these people that do these terrorist attacks haven't spoken directly to ISIS. They get radicalized online, and they agree, and then when they send out messages to do shit, then they go and fucking do shit. But she's like, oh, I tell my little ones he joined the dark side of the force. I don't think he'll ever change his way of thinking. I can't help but still love him. It's like, really? And it's like, she probably doesn't tell her kids that. That's probably a lie. She's probably like, oh, we had to leave your father. He's fighting the good fight, and one day you can maybe join him. And it's like, if you're training their kids for I don't know how many years, I don't know how old these kids are, for them to be one thing, it's going to be really hard for them to change as well. Just insanity to me that we're willing to bring, like America and stuff, Canada, all these countries are willing to bring these types of dangers into their country, right? It's crazy. And she's blaming it on racism. No mention of Islam. Of course, left-wing publications are going to eat this up, because then they can use it again and be like, oh, it's your fault. It has nothing to do with them. It's because of this. It's because you're assholes. Bring more of them in. Bring more. It's like, and this is going to continue. Where I can't even stand articles like this. They piss me off so much. And I'm telling you, ISIS, Muslims, like these radical Muslims, not all, right? Not all, are laughing at us. They're literally laughing at us. Like they wouldn't take in us and give us welfare and stuff like this, right? This isn't going to de-radicalize them being really, really nice. It's not going to fucking de-radicalize them. Be tougher. We gotta be harsher on these people. Who cares if she has family in the US and fucking kids? She went to Syria, right? And she hates America. All this shit going to Syria, but you're going to Syria to fight Assad and the Russians. If anything, America is your biggest fucking ally, or was before Trump stopped the CIA funding that went to fucking terrorists for all those years. So you're railing against America, but they're your biggest fucking ally. So shut the fuck up, right? Like, God, I hate this woman so much. She knows what she's doing. She knows exactly what the fuck she's doing. And she's playing you fucking liberals for the idiots you are. I'm sorry to say, but you're fucking stupid. If you buy this shit, you're dumb. And you've been indoctrinated to shit. If you take any of what she said seriously. But, they're, like I said before, they're laughing at you. That's all I had to say. If you like my content, subscribe and have a good day.